across the two spreads, one of the energy that I am feeling here is there's a lot of waiting. There's a lot of apprehension. There's a lot of like this almost like this surreal fantasy that we have about, what's my next step? When am I going to get, the message? When am I going to get the answers? When am I going to get, the communication? When am I going to sign that contract in order to jumpstart and to start this next phase in my life? So there's an anxiousness coming through. It's almost like being stuck in limbo and not feeling like you can plan anything or get anything off the ground because you're waiting on other people, waiting on other things, waiting on, things being finalized. So everything is very, very up in the air. It's like, when a car drives off on a dirt road and there's this giant dust cloud. And it's like you're living in that and everything is just kind of like suspended in time. And it's a very uncomfortable space to be in because first of all, it's dirty. And then there's like very low visibility, this giant dust cloud in front of you. And it's not really settling. You're waiting for it to settle. You're waiting to get, to clear up your vision so you can figure out which way you need to go and what decisions you need to make. So I feel like there are a lot of decisions that need to be made, but you can't do anything because you're waiting on other things to fall into place. It's really frustrating, right? I know that, as a Sagittarius, as a fire sign, we like to do things. We like to, be the one to initiate things. And it can be really, really frustrating. And I feel like your sense of impatience is just wearing thin. By the way, last week, I mentioned in the reading, Sagittarius is a cardinal sign, and somebody corrected me, so I apologize for that. It's a mutable sign, so I'm very, very sorry. And thank you, I forget the name, the email address, but thank you for the correction, and I apologize for misspeaking. What I feel, though, is in this spread, it's basically telling you that everything is going to fall into place, okay? Take care of whatever is in front of you and don't project too far into the future. Your natural ruler is Jupiter, and Jupiter deals with expansion. It deals with opportunities. It deals with luck in general. And just look back at all the past few times you've had to make some really major changes in your life. Everything went smoothly, right? You didn't have to plan for it. You didn't have to, itemize everything because you are divinely guided and protected. You have like almost this angelic presence watching over you, making sure that everything is going to flow your way. So having that little bit of faith that things are going to work out so that you're not working yourself into a frenzy. And so whatever delays, whatever has been stalled, use that time as, okay, well, it's the universe telling me that I need to live in the moment. Spend some time with your friends. Spend some time with your family. Whatever delays and setbacks are happening right now, it's happening for a reason. So it's happening so that you can reconnect with people that you might have lost touch with, so that you can just enjoy the moment and not worry so much about how all the pieces of the puzzle are going to fit neatly together, okay? Love relationship. You've been really frustrated with a person, I feel. And I can feel the frustration, Sagittarius. This is not a good place for anybody to be, let alone a fire sign. So dangling, hanging around, trying to look at things from a different perspective, trying to put yourself in the other person's shoes, trying to understand where they're coming from. But they're really confusing to you, okay? It's almost like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, whatever indicates like more setbacks. And I feel like there's somebody there that you're trying to pluck, like you're trying to be with, but it's getting harder and harder and harder for you to reach them. It's harder and harder, and it's a really uncomfortable space for a fire sign to be. You're just dangling all the the blood is rushing to your head, and I feel like you're anxious and you're hot-headed, and you're like feeling very passionate about another person. So I'm seeing like this blood rushing to the head, but they also aggravate you. It's like love-hate relationship that you have with another person, but they confuse you. They really confuse you. And the person that you're dealing with here, I have an air sign. This is Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. This is a person that is really, really articulate. And for whatever reason, I feel like, this is the King of Swords, but he's so young looking. So they might have like a very childlike face, childlike demeanor about them. They might be a little bit of a prankster, a jokester. They don't take life very seriously, but they're incredibly smart. And a lot of the times people who are very, very intelligent, not everyone, but if it's somebody that hides behind this facade, it's because emotionally they might be very underdeveloped. And as a result of it, it's hard for them to know what they feel. It's not hard for them to know what they want. And it's hard for them to not be confusing to other people, especially in the love department. So I feel like you're dealing with someone who's like this. You feel like they're a little bit critical of the way you live. You feel like they're a little bit judgmental of the person that you are. And there might be things that you're doing that you feel the disapproval coming from them. What I'm reminded to say in this spread in particular is I have a couple here. I have the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. So I feel like this is your counterpart, okay? This is the person that you're meant to learn a lot from. And the chemistry and the aggravation, the love and the hate, all of it is a past life energy where the two of you have lived through this karma before, where the two of you are now coming back in to teach each other some important lessons about how to communicate, how to soften up our communication, how to express how we feel, really express how we feel, and to get our messages across to one another. I also see throughout this week, there's going to be an element of this person being less confusing towards you. So in the past, if they've been joking and I feel like poking fun at a situation or acting in a very callous manner, they're going to soften their energy and they're going to be a little bit more receptive. The wit is still there, the wit and the humor, the dry sense of humor, and also the communication. But I feel like they're going to soften their energy a little bit, and they're going to communicate with you in a more loving manner, okay? But either way, I feel like you might be involved with somebody who might be already in another relationship. If they're not in another relationship, then they're going to soften their energy and come towards you so that they don't aggravate you. And I feel like there is assistance coming through from this person towards you to kind of allow you to step away from this space of frustration and limbo and stagnation and to begin something new, okay? There is very strong attraction between the two of you. This is like seduction. Someone is being very provocative. Someone is like, I'm seeing like pats on the head, calm down, Sagittarius, you're being too hot-headed. Someone might tell you, stop being so impatient. Or they might tell you, don't run, don't rush, don't worry so much. Why do you work yourself up in a frenzy? So these are words that the other person might say towards you. And I feel almost like I feel like they might not approve of everything that you do, but they approach you with a very kind, loving, gentle heart. And I feel like they're slightly amused by you, the way that you are. Some of you are very like clumsy, and some of you are accident prone, so they find that endearing. And then I feel like they like to poke fun at you, mainly because they like to get a response out of you, which doesn't sound nice, but I feel like that's what it boils down to. They like to get you agitated just to see how just to see the emotional impact they have on you. And I have here the Five of Wands. This is arguments, bickering, competition. There might be a sense of competition between you and them. And there's also this, love-hate relationship. It's like, I can't live with you, can't live without you. You aggravate me, but I love you. And so someone is really, really getting under your skin. But I don't feel it's in a bad manner. If it were like the Page of Swords or the Knight of Swords, I would say they're aggravating. But I feel like with this person, it's just, they're amused by you and they might be conflicted. And I feel like, they're emotionally underdeveloped, so they don't really know how to express their concern and their love and their tenderness in a appropriate way. Okay. Other areas of your life, money, finances, everything is really racking up. So I feel like, you've got money in the bank. We have here Nine of Pentacles. Some of you are self-employed. And we have as well the Seven of Pentacles. Do an inventory for this week. Taking stock. What do I need to reorder? What supplies do I need? And what do I need to learn? So I feel like there's a lot of doing a lot of inventory, restocking, reshelving, spring cleaning even. And I feel like, dusting things off and then putting things back. So I see a lot of heavy lifting and cleaning and just decluttering. And it's going to be good for you. It's not good to hold on to things that we don't no longer need. Things collect energies and we don't want to be bogged down with worn out and stagnant energy. So I feel like, cleaning your house, getting rid of food that has already expired, especially like canned food, just decluttering your environment is going to be a lot better for you. But I feel like for those who are self-employed or even working, your money is starting to build up. Okay. You're starting to see your savings increase. So if you've been worried about finances before, I feel like this is the week where things are turning around for the better. I also see as well offering money, gifts, or financial assistance towards family members. Okay, especially family members who are themselves going through major financial transitions, job change, and things like that. So you're going to be reaching out like, hey, do you need, to borrow money, or can I help you with anything? And then packing up food, like little containers of food to give to, family members, or gifts or trinkets. That's what I'm seeing here. I feel like there's going to be, very heartfelt moments coming through for this week. And I feel a lot of it has to do with, just the fact that you're starting to open up. You're starting to see a situation for what it is. We have here the High Priestess. So this is like revelation. This is sort of like the unveiling process where we start to see things in a very clear manner. And I mentioned before, waiting for the dust to settle, and you're living in this space where you can't really see in front of you, and you have to, in turns, turn to your intuition to kind of guide you. And I feel like what you're starting to see is you're starting to see the emotions of another person. Doesn't even have to be love relationship, but trusting your emotions to guide you, to allow you to understand how the other person feels, even though they're not verbally speaking those words. Reading their body language and noticing that, they might say, I can't stand you, but then they inch forward, like towards you. Or like in a social setting, they turn their body towards you. So you're taking, you're picking up a lot of nonverbal cues. One person, whoever you're dealing with, might be saying one thing, but then their physical actions, their body language is doing something else that they have no control over, or they might not even realize. Okay. So paying attention to the minor details, the nuances in the interaction, as well as body language, I feel like it's going to tell you everything you need to know. So even though they're like running their mouth, if you pay attention to their body language, they're going to show you that you find them kind of inching towards you. You find them like turning their bodies, facing you and wanting to be close to you, even though they don't say that. Okay. So you're being a lot more observant this week, and you're being a lot more mindful. I feel like there is a long distance work contract or something, and that you're waiting to finalize. So this is heavily contract negotiations, the back and forth bartering process. And I feel like something is going to finalize for you. And I feel like it might even be, within the next 2 months where this contract that is over long distances is going to finalize and you're going to be able to shift gears.